السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Today we are looking at the lesson number 6, as you can see, and so you can see here. So the theme of this particular lesson is nuzhatun wa tabkhun. That is the title of this particular lesson, nuzhatun wa tabkhun. So without wasting much time, let's begin, right? So ma ma'na nuzhatun? What do you mean by nuzhatun? As usual, we try to explain the heading before we actually enter into the lesson. Okay, so what is nuzhatun wa tabkhun? Nuzhatun bima'na recreation. In English we say recreation. Okay, recreation. Wa tabkhun. Tabkhun means cooking. Okay, cooking. Okay, cooking of food or cooking of whatever is. So recreation and cooking, that is the topic, the subject of this particular lesson. Okay, the main subject. Okay, so as you can see, he begins by saying that كان يوم الثلاثاء الماضي. كان يوم الثلاثاء الماضي يوم عطلة في المدرسة. So he's saying that كان was, meaning whatever he's saying was, يوم الثلاثاء الماضي, past يوم الثلاثاء. So when we say يوم الثلاثاء, it means what? يوم الثلاثاء, it means Tuesday. Okay, يوم الثلاثاء means Tuesday. I hope that is clear. يوم الثلاثاء, Tuesday. Okay, so كان يوم الثلاثاء الماضي. So this الماضي is an innaat, a sifa. Okay, a sifa that describes that Tuesday. So he said al-madi bimana past. What we say madi, meaning past. Okay, the verb is mado yamdi. Okay, for something to past. So if I say usbu'ul madi, meaning the past week. Okay, the past week. Okay, so the verb there is mado. So we say mado shay'an bimana the thing has passed. Okay, the thing has passed. Okay, so for example, Allah says in the Quran, I think it's Surah Al-Zukhruf. Okay, فَأَهْلَكْنَا أَشَدَّ مِنْهُمْ بَطْشًا وَمَضَى. Okay, وَمَضَى فَأَهْلَكْنَا أَشَدَّ مِنْهُمْ بَطْشًا وَمَضَى مَثَلُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. Okay, and then so that is the same word that is there, وَمَضَى مَثَلُ الْأَوَّلِينَ, bimana the examples of the previous nations has already passed. So that word mado is for something to be passed. Okay, and then the noun is madi, the thing which is past. I hope that is clear. So كان يوم الثلاثاء الماضي, last, okay, past Tuesday was يوم عطلة, a holiday. So when we say يوم العطلة, it means a holiday. في المدرسة, in school. جاء إلي داود. Dawood came to me. صباحا بمعنى في الصباح. So this is what we call مفعول فيه. Okay, مفعول فيه. It is similar to ظرف زمان. Okay, when, for example, if I say ذهبت إليه, I went to him. صباحا, in the morning. So that is مفعول فيه. I could have said ذهبت إليه في الصباح. I went to him in the morning. That's just the normal form, in the morning. But if I want The fi sabah, I can take it out. Fi sabahi, I can take it out and just replace it by sabahan. Okay, yani, and it is having fathatain on the last letter, sabahan. Okay, that's maf'ulun fi. Bimana, he's indicating the time. So ja'a ilayya Dawood sabahan. Dawood came to me sabahan in the morning. Waqala, and said, al-yawmu yawmul utlati. Today is a holiday. Ala nakhruj ila bustanin. Ala nakhruj. Won't we go out? Ila bustanin, to a garden. We have seen bustan previously in the first lesson. Okay. Aw makanin, or a place. Makan is a place. Aw makanin fi dawahi, in the outskirts. Dawahi is the plural of dahiyatun. And when we say dahiyatun, bimana the outskirts, the suburb, okay, the outskirts of, or the suburb of a particular location or a particular place is what we call the dahiyatun. Okay, so fi dawahi, in the outskirts, dawahi al-madinati, in the outskirts of the town. Narta'u wa nal'abu. Narta'u, bimana we are going to amuse ourselves, or we are going to enjoy. Wa nal'abu, and play. This particular narta'u, the verb there is rata'a yarta'u. Rata'a yarta'u, that is the verb. To amuse, or to enjoy yourself. Okay, that's what we mean by rata'a. Okay, for example, it comes in the Quran in Surah to Yusuf. Okay, when the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, they were trying to take him out. Okay, his father wouldn't allow them. So they developed a plan to convince their father. So what they actually said to their father was, Arsilhu ma'ana gadan, okay, yartaw wa yal'ab wa inna lahu lahafizun. Arsilhu ma'ana, send him with us, gadan, tomorrow. Okay, yartaw. So that you see the verb there, yartaw. Bimana, he will amuse, or he will enjoy. So that we call it, in that particular context, we call it jawab talab. Okay, so that, okay, you won't see the so that in it, but because it is grammatically, I said it is, we call it that jawab talab. So it means so that he will enjoy. Wayal abu, and he will play. So you see the same word there. Wayal abu, he will enjoy and he will play. Wa inna lahu lahafizun, and we are going to be to him guardians. So that was what they told their father, and then they took him. Okay, they took him from their father alayhi salatu wassalam. So you see that verb there, rata'a yarta'u, is to amuse yourself, to just go on, to enjoy, to try to amuse your body or yourself. That's what we call rata'a. Wa nal'abu, and then we'll play. So let's go and have some enjoyment, and then we'll play. Wa natbahu min at-ta'ami ma nashtahi wa na'kul. Wa natbahu, so you can see, okay, it is similar to the heading. Wa natbahu. The verb there is tabaha yatbuhu, to cook. Okay, tabaha yatbuhu is to cook. So wa natbuhu, and we'll cook min at-ta'am, of food, we'll cook food, ma nashtahi, that we desire, wa na'kul, and we will eat. Okay, wa na'kul, and we will eat. So nashtahi, the verb there is ishtaha yashtahi, to desire something. Okay, to desire something. When, for example, if I say, yani ishtahaitu kaza, I desire this thing. Okay, ishtaha, to desire something. So ishtaha, he desired. Yashtahi, he is desiring. Okay, so for example, Allah says in the Quran, about the Ashabul Jannah. May Allah mix us among them, the companions of heaven, okay, of Jannah. May Allah mix us among them. Allah says that وَهُمْ فِي مَا اشْتَهَتْ أَنفُسُهُمْ خَالِدُونَ. وَهُمْ فِي, in simplicity, وَهُمْ فِي مَا اشْتَهَتْ. فِي مَا اشْتَهَتْ. You see the same verb there, اشْتَهَ يَشْتَهِ. Okay, and they are going to be in فِي مَا اشْتَهَتْ أَنفُسُهُم, in what their souls will desire. خَالِدُونَ, I mean abiding there forever. So they are going to have whatever they desire. Okay, فِي مَا اشْتَهَتْ أَنفُسُهُم, what their souls desire. Okay, so اشْتَهَ يَشْتَهِ is to desire something. وَنَأْكُلْ, and we will eat. Okay. وَنَرْجِعُ فِي الْمَسَاءِ. وَنَرْجِعُ فِي الْمَسَاءِ, and we will return in the evening. قُلْتُ, I said. هُوَ كَذَلِكَ. So this is a typing mistake. This is هُوَ. هُوَ كَذَلِكَ. It is so. It is so. Bimana, he is affirming what he has said. He said, yes, that is it. That is it. That's what we should do. هُوَ كَذَلِكَ. That is it. It is like that. Bimana, we should do that. وَأَنَا, so he's now saying that وَأَنَا كُنْتُ أُفَكِّرُ, and I was thinking, okay, أيضا كيف أقضي هذا اليوم. Okay, وَأَنَا كُنْتُ أُفَكِّرُ, and I was thinking. فَكَّرَ يُفَكِّرُ is to think. Okay, so وَأَنَا كُنْتُ أُفَكِّرُ, and I was thinking أيضا also كيف أقضي هذا اليوم, how I will spend this day. Okay, this day. ولكن, so he's now saying that, but كلم أخاك سليمان والأخ هاشما والسيد عمر لعلهم يخرجون معنا. So he's saying that ولكن, but كلم أخاك, tell your brother. Okay, tell your brother. أخاك سليمان, your brother Sulaiman, ولا أخا هاشم, and brother Hashim, والسيد Umar, and Mr. Umar, لعلهم يخرجون معنا, perhaps, okay, or maybe they might also be coming out with us, bimana, to the recreation. So that is what he said. Okay, so this kellim, the verb there is kellama yukellimu. Okay, so وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا, like in the Quran it comes. Okay, and Allah spoke to Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, taklima, in real, it was not something that was, it was something, in real, okay, in real talking. So kallama, the verb is kallama yukallimu. And what happens is that, if you can remember in the previous lesson, we looked at takallama. I think that was in the first lesson. We came across something like وَكَانَتْ أُمِّي تَتَكَلَّمُ مَعِي إِنْدَ الْمَنَامِ. You can remember there was something like that. So the difference is takallama. That one was takallama. وَكَانَ أُمِّي تَتَكَلَّمُ. The verb is takallama يَتَكَلَّمُ. But this one is just kallama. So what's the difference when the ta is added? Kallama and then takallama. What is the difference between them? The thing is that all these are, basics of surf. Okay, basics of surf. And as I usually say, please, if you don't really have an idea of what I'm saying, then you should consider looking at the grammar lessons that we have been doing on the Madina series. Okay, all these have been elaborated there. Okay, so we have something that we call it, when we say kallama, bimana, it comes on the scale of fa'ala. Okay, fa'ala. So if I say kallama, it needs an object. The verbs that come on that pattern, fa'ala, there is always an object that is needed. Okay, there's always a maf'ulun bihi, an object. So if I say kallama, bimana, I am telling someone. You can't say I am telling and then you keep quiet. We are expecting, you are telling to someone, the focus, in simplicity, the focus in that types of verbs is the object. We have the most focus is on the object on that types of verbs that come on the pattern fa'ala. So for example, kallama, okay, kallama, okay, qaddama. You see, verbs that come on that pattern, the main focus is on the object. But if I say takallama, bimana, I spoke, I may not speak to anyone. There's instances where someone will be speaking alone without speaking to anyone. Okay, so in that case, so when you say takallama, he speaks. It's not that he's telling to someone. In those, when the ta is added, we call it mutawa. Okay, in sort of, it's called mutawa. Bimana, the main focus has been shifted from the object to the one who is doing it. Okay, to the one who is doing it. Okay, so for example, if I say qaddamtu, qaddama, he presented, we are focusing on the object. He presented something. We have there's always something that he did. There's an object. You can't say the word presented. He presented. There's no way there wouldn't be an object. But if I say, so in Arabic it is qaddama. But if I say taqaddama, bimana, he presented himself. So for example, if several people are standing and I say qaddama rajul, bimana, the man came forward. He moved himself. So in that case, we are not expecting an object. The object is the person who himself. So when we add the ta, it removes the object away to the person. The focus is now on the person doing it. I hope that is clear. So kallama, he is telling to someone. There is someone. But if I say takallama, he speaks. He is speaking. The focus is not on the object. That is the difference. I hope that is clear. Okay. So he said that kellim, that is the amr. Kellim, inform or tell. Akhaka Sulaiman, your brother Sulaiman, wal akha Hashiman, and brother Hashim, was Sayyid Umar and Mr. Umar, la'allahum. So la'allahum, this is something that is used for tarjih. We are hoping, okay, for hope. So la'allahum, perhaps yakhrujuna ma'ana, they will be coming out with us. Okay, so wafaqa Dawood ala zalika. Dawood agreed. When we say wafaqa, okay, for something to agree, wafaqa bimana, he agreed. Okay, he complied. Okay, that's wafaqa. Okay, so wafaqa Dawood ala zalik. Dawood agreed. Ala zalik, on that. Wakallamahum, and he told them. Okay, he told them. وَفَرِحُوا جِدًّا, and they rejoice a lot. Okay, so fariha is the verb. Fariha is to enjoy. What's the name? To rejoice. Okay, to rejoice. So فَفَرِحُوا, and then they rejoice جِدًّا, a lot. وَجَاءُوا إِلَى بَيْتِي, and then they came إِلَى بَيْتِي, to my house, مِنْ سَاعَتِهِمْ وَصَدِيقُنَا خَالِدٌ فَفَرِحْنَا بِهِ وَقُلْنَا. So وَجَاءُوا إِلَى بَيْتِي, and then they came to my house. مِنْ سَاعَتِهِمْ, this particular expression, مِنْ سَاعَتِهِمْ, this one, it is something that is not to be taken literally. Okay, if I say مِنْ سَاعَتِهِمْ, it's an expression. The man at the moment. Okay, without any delay. On time, you can say on time, at that particular moment, they just came, on time. Okay, so for example, if I say zahabtu ila al-madrasati min sa'ati, the man, I went to the madrasa on the appointed time. I didn't delay. Okay, so that's an expression that is used. Min sa'atihim wa sadiquna, and our friend Khalidun, and Khalid also came with them. Fafarihna bihi, and we rejoice by he, bimana, by his coming. Okay, we rejoiced his coming, literally. Wa qulna, and we said marhaba. Okay, welcome. Marhaba meaning welcome. they welcomed him. They welcomed him. So ijtama'na, okay, wa qulna. Ijtama'a is together. Ijtama'a is together. Wa qulna, and then we said. So the verb is ijtama'a yajtami'u. Okay. So for example, I think this one comes in the Quran, okay, in Surah Al-Isra. Okay, in Surah Al-Isra, one of the very beautiful verses of the Quran, Allah says that كُلَّ إِنِ اجْتَمَعَتِ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ. Say, Allah is commanding the Prophet to say, لَإِنِ اجْتَمَعَتِ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ. If the human beings and then the jinn, okay, gathered. So that is the word there, la inijitama. If they had gathered the jinns and the human beings, okay. And yet to be misli hazal Quran, to produce something like the Quran, they would not have been able to do so, okay, if the whole of humanity and the whole of the jinns come together. Allah is saying to produce something like the Quran, we will not have been able to do so. The whole two categories, of creatures together, we wouldn't have been able to do so, even if we did a good project. Okay, even if we did a good project. That's what I say. So the word, this particular word is there, la inijitama. So ijitama is together. So if I say ijitama'ana bimana, it means we gathered. Okay, ijitama'ana, we gathered. So ijtama'na, we gathered, wa qulna, and we said, hal naqsidu bustanan min basatin al-madinati aw natawajjahu ila dahiyati min dawahi al-madinati. So hal naqsid bima'na, should we intend or should we consider bustanan, a garden, min basatin al-madina, from the gardens of the city, aw natawajjahu, or we should focus, or we should turn our focus ila dahiyati. So this is the singular of the dawahi that he was talking of, the outskirts. Okay, ila dahiyati, to an outskirt, one singular, min dawahi al-madinati, from the outskirts, several outskirts of the Medina. Let me try to break it down. Hal naqsidu, the verb here is qasada yaqsidu. Qasada yaqsidu means to intend something, to mean something. Okay, so that's why we say qasdun. Qasdun is your goal. Okay, your goal. You have a particular goal to achieve. We call it qasdun. Qasd. Okay, qasdun. Okay, it will also be gaya. Okay, your aim, your goal. So when you say qasada, meaning he intended. So qasada haza rajulu kaza wa kaza. This man intended this and this. The man, he meant he meant something. I hope that is clear. So that's the verb qasada. To yaqsidu, he is intending. Okay. So qasada yaqsidu is the verb. So hal naqsidu, should we consider, or should we intend bustanan, a garden, the man going to a garden, min basatin al-madina, among the gardens of the city, aw natawajjahu. The verb here is tawajjaha yatawajjahu. Okay, tawajjaha yatawajjahu, to focus your, to focus on something. Tawajjaha, to turn, it could also mean to turn towards something. So for example, if I say tawajjahtu ila al-Madina, I turn towards. Okay, so tawajjaha could mean to turn towards. Okay, to turn towards. It could be figurative, and then it will come in two ways. The first thing is, like, for example, physically, if I say tawajjahtu ila hazihi al-jiha, I turn towards this direction, meaning I turn myself physically or I could say توجهت رأيي إلى فعل كذا. I turned my attention. توجهت رأيي, or I turned my idea. بمعنى I intended. I didn't physically move myself towards a particular direction. So that's what I'm saying. It could mean to tend towards physically. Okay, توجه. So for example, most of the time your friend will be asking you أين تتوجه? Where are you turning towards? بمعنى you are departing, you are having a conversation, you are just standing and you are chatting, and at the end of the conversation he asks you أين يعني تتوجه? Where are you facing? Which direction are you going? Okay, so physically it means to turn towards, to turn your direction, just physical motion, your direction towards a particular place. And it could also mean to turn your idea. You have a particular idea, you have decided to come up with an idea. See, توجهت, so like here, أو نتوجه. Okay, so here that's the physical one. We should, consider going إلى ضاحية, to an outskirt, من دواحي المدينة, from the outskirts, the several outskirts of the Medina. قال داود وعمر. So Dawood and Umar says, بل نقصد, rather, بل means rather, بل نقصد, we should rather intend, or we should rather consider البستان الكبيرة, the big garden, في وسط المدينة. The Medina is in the next page. The Medina is in the next page. في وسط المدينة. And I think we'll have to pause here. We don't want to make the lesson extremely long. Okay, we are trying to reduce the length of the lessons. So let's stop here, but let's try to explain it. في وسط المدينة. ما معنى وسط المدينة? So بل نقصد, we should rather consider a garden, the big garden, في وسط المدينة. So there's a big garden in the وسط المدينة. Wastun or wasat means middle, the middle of something. Okay, when something is at the middle, we call it wast. Okay, so for example, Allah says in the Quran that وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. You see this word, wasatan. This is in Surah Al-Baqarah, right? In Surah Al-Baqarah. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. When Allah talk about changing the Qibla, in the next verse, I think this was the next verse, or in that same verse that this word comes, wast. Okay, we made you a middle nation. What does it mean by middle nation? You know, there are two people, the Ahlul Kitab. We have the Jews and then the Christians, right? The people of the book, the Jews and then the Christians. You know, the Jews, they go overboard. So as the Christians also go overboard. But they have two different problems. The Christians, they go physical overboard. I'm saying physical, spiritual overboard. They try to attain spirituality to an extent that they start worshipping prophets. Okay, like Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, they started worshipping him. Okay, so that's a spiritual overboard that they have went. So, but the Jews, they didn't do so. They rather go and overboard in their scriptures. They focus much on their scholarly. You know, Allah described them as ahbar. Okay, ahbar. The last time I told you, they study and then they write a lot. Hebrew, from Hebrew, they write a lot that they are called scholars of ink. They have several scholars, rabbis. Okay, the rabbis of the Jews. Okay, so they study a lot, and they knew a lot. These are, knowledgeable people, but they have spiritual problems. Spiritual problems in the sense that there are problems with the heart. You know, when you are learning, it should have an impact on your heart. Okay, you can't be learning and for example, you learn a chunk of, you know, a lot of Quran, but several things you have problems with your heart. There are a lot of diseases in your heart, spiritual problems. You are greedy. Okay, you lie. You still do all these things. The Quran should have a reflection on your heart. It should be able to do away with these things in your heart. So, but they have that problem. They study a lot, but those problems are still there. The spiritual problem is still there. Okay? And then the Christians, they don't study their books. They even corrupt their books, and then they don't study at all. They don't even know their books. They don't even know their own books. To ask them who wrote the Bible. I mean, several people come afterwards, and then they write it, and they just polluted a chunk of it. Okay? And they don't even know those people. But they are claiming to be, spiritually upright to an extent of worshipping idols. I'm saying idols, worshipping prophets. So the Christians go overboard in spirituality, and then the Jews go overboard in scholarly, in their scriptures. They learn, but there's problems. The problems are still there. The spirituality is not there. So Allah is saying that وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا, and that is so that we have made you an ummah, a nation, wasatan, situated between the middle. So the Quran is a combination of knowledge, ilm, and then spirituality. It connects you to Allah at the same time. There is a lot that Allah teaches us from the Quran. Ar-Rahman allama al-Quran. He taught us the Quran. In the same way, the Quran is a spiritual book that connects us to Allah Azza wa Jal. May Allah makes us the companions of the Quran. As the Prophet says, خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَ. The best of you are those who learn the Quran and then they teach it. May Allah makes us among them. So that is the wasat. When we say wasat, something to be in between, it is in the middle. We call it wasatun. Okay, wasatun. So fi wastil Madina, in the middle of the Medina. Inshallah, sanatawakaf huna. We are going to pause here and then we'll continue in the next lesson. جزاكم الله خيرا في حياتكم وبارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.